Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. There's a rumor going around that Elaine was crying in the court. I wanted to get to the bottom of this because I don't like to put out mistruths. So I got the man behind it who actually saw it happen. James from court is here. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I mean, look, I saw the story. I was going to report on it. I saw some people sharing your tweet, and look, no offense, I just was unfamiliar. I knew you were in the court. You have been reporting from the court, but I was like, really? Did this happen? Was she crying? So let's break it down. Here's James's Twitter. Go to James from court. He's been there in Fairfax reporting. You were inside several weeks. You were outside yesterday during it all happened, but you witnessed firsthand Elaine crying after it all went down?
Yeah, it was around 5 o'clock, right before the jury decided they were going to go home for the day. Everyone had pretty much left, but there was a few people hanging around just in case they had made a verdict. And three of us were standing outside the bathroom when we saw her basically kind of not run, but go into the bathroom very quickly crying. And then one of them was going to go in after her, but another woman entered the bathroom too.
So you saw her going into the bathroom, teary, watery, crying. So there was definitely some action there. How was she when she came out, or were you gone by that point?
No, we were still there. She was, she had like a red nose. Maybe she'd been blowing her nose or something. She seemed a little bit better, but yeah, after that is when we had all kind of we noticed. It was very visible because she's cried a couple of times in court as well that we've noticed. So we all had said something about it, like, geez, we feel so bad for her. So after she came out, we all were like, hey, you're doing a great job. It must be so hard. We understand, it's not you and stuff. So she smiled and she said, thank you, and then went back into the courtroom.
Interesting. Well, I didn't even know any of this drama. So there's already been moments throughout as you've been there where she's been crying, which is news to me, but also sort of the people in the audience calming her down, saying that we know it's not your fault, and she's like, okay.
Yeah, well, she knows that a lot of people are there for Johnny Depp and a lot of people actively dislike Amber, and she sees this stuff online. I think actually that at that point she was trending. Elaine read off as a liar, so she probably had seen that. They still have their phones in court; they're allowed to look. So I think it's she's getting a lot of the public attention towards her as well, and she's not used to that. She's not used to defending actors and actresses and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting point of the story because, look, Amber, I feel, deserves a lot of the criticism she's getting. I think these are due to her own actions. But it's very easy for us to forget Elaine's doing her job. Elaine's a lawyer that is allowed to lie on the stand. If anybody up there is allowed to lie, it's the lawyers. We've learned that in our coverage through other lawyers telling us that. You can't perjure yourself if you're a witness or, the plaintiff or whatever on stand, but the lawyers can totally bend things around to as they need to. And so as much as we are frustrated with Elaine, she's doing one of the hardest jobs in the world right now, which is defending a potential criminal, right? And there's a lot of lawyers who have to go out there and defend some of the worst criminals in the world because everybody has that right. That's a beautiful part of our country, is everybody has the right to due process and to counsel, and we got to support that, right? That's a good thing. So it is interesting, this redemption arc, which I do think is fair. We can be mad at Rottenborn and Elaine all we want because how dare they represent Amber, but to see the emotion firsthand, I think, is a good thing to report on and remind us these people are human. While Amber's up there saying, I'm human. Sorry, girl, not buying that. But the real humans to me are Elaine and Rottenborn, who are probably getting a lot of the hate. What are your thoughts on it?
They are, and I see it online. I think everyone sees it. And in the courtroom, no one's rude to them. No one says anything when they walk around. But I think they know that they are the disliked team in the court, especially by the audience. And it's got to be hard to have all that directed at you. I agree. They're lawyers. They are doing their job. Even, their whole point is to do that. And they would be bad at their job if they, based on their client, acted a certain way or didn't try as hard. So, they definitely need credit for that.
I mean, it's a tough thing going up there right at the gate and lying, which she did with the Amica cream, which she got wrong, and the makeup. I mean, that's where the sort of narrative was set. I never was trying to be personal attacking Elaine. But I think the criticism we can offer is she has messed up a lot. Like from a
Yes.
There's a lot of points where Judge Penny is like almost telling her how to try a case. I think that's where a lot of us are frustrated with Elaine, which imagine on this scale of people watching and the amount of criticism she's getting, I really wouldn't want to wish that on anybody, to be honest. But I feel like that's some of that I get is fair, us criticizing sort of maybe the legal tactics she's doing. But yeah, the amount of hate, I can't obviously endorse that, nor should anybody be sending that amount of hate over there. Do you feel like you get the vibe that she's feeling like she's losing, or do you just get the vibe that she's just not liked? Because there is clearly a difference, right?
Yeah, I think both, to be honest. I think she's also taking a lot of heat from Amber that people don't see. There was a time when Amber was like, I think she had basically said, like, I need new lawyers or something like that. And Elaine had said to her out in the hallway, basically, you can represent yourself if you want to.
I want to question that because we've reported on that. I've heard
Yeah.
conflicting reports, but did you hear it?
I heard it from someone I sit next to in
And you
court.
trust them? That you feel like they weren't making
I
that
do.
up?
No, I do. Yeah, I trust them because I also saw. I was there that day, and I saw when they were in the court together. It was very, very weird. The dynamic, the energy was cold between them. And I think it was either the day before or that same day in the morning when Amber came in, like Elaine was giving her a very stern talking to, and like with her hand, like finger, like you could see them kind of going at it. So I'm not surprised, and I do trust the person that told me.
So yeah, because we had reported on that there, I think, but it wasn't an F word and it wasn't a sheriff's deputy. That all that sort of got inflated. What I did hear, there was some door got opened and it was overheard that Elaine said, "Well, you can represent yourself." Which honestly, I'm sure in the heat of it that happens a lot, where a client's like, "What?" Blah, 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 and the lawyer's like, "Dude, you want to do this job? Because it's a hard job she's doing." No.
Yeah, it is a hard job, and I think what makes it harder is Amber probably saying what she knows better. I think there's a lot of things she did and a lot of evidence she introduced because she wanted to and not because the lawyers wanted to. I mean, she's handing notes to them the entire time, basically. I don't know if you've seen a meme of the lawyer and he's covered in Post-it notes.
Like
but that's
Office
not an exaggeration. Yeah, exactly. It's not an exaggeration. She's doing it constantly. She's giving them notes, telling them what to do. So it must be hard when you have a client that doesn't know anything and then tries to tell you how to do your job. And then tells you you're bad at your job because your client's doing things that are ruining their own case.
Yeah, we had Christopher Melcher, and we were making the joke the other day. Do I still have it here? Like the notes that she's probably sharing are literally just lies. It's a lie. That's not true. Because they're like, that's usually what the clients are telling us, and it doesn't help. Getting all these notes. It's a tough job that Elaine has. I do feel for her. She's got to spin the narrative that whether Amber's admitted it's not true or not, it sort of doesn't matter. Her job is to defend her client at all costs. That's how the system works. You could be mad at the system all day, but that's how Elaine's got to do it. But interesting. So I didn't know there was such emotion on their side because Rottenborn seems like he's got it together. Like he's sort of just doing it and doesn't care. He's taking the punches, probably gets why he's getting the punches. He probably doesn't even want to have to go up against Johnny Depp. I'm imagining, but he's got to do it, right? Do you get that vibe?
I get that vibe 100%. And I mean, I don't want to make like a ton of speculation. I think he thinks that this is all beneath him. I mean, he's a quite established attorney, in his own right. I think he thinks this whole case, like he probably took it at first, the money, different things, maybe at first, who knows who was paying for it. Maybe Elon Musk was involved and he said, wow, okay, this is serious. But I think at this point, he's very much tapped out. I think he's doing his job to the best of his ability because he's a capable lawyer. But I think that he is over it. I think he thinks it's silly to begin with, to be honest. That's the vibe I get from him in court and then outside in the hallways as well. Interesting.
Any other, and then from Johnny's team, they clearly have been on top of it, but have you gotten any interesting insight from them?
Yeah, so they were very optimistic yesterday. After in the hallways, they had said to a couple of us that they feel very good about the verdict. The camaraderie you see, like, the hug and the gummy bears and things like that, it's not just for show. It's out in the hallways. It's out in front of the courtroom. I mean, Ben carries that alpaca that a fan gave him. He's been carrying it the entire time on that stuffed animal, and he keeps it with him. So there's a lot that goes on. They hug each other, they smile. They're very, very nice to fans. They're very, very nice to everyone. Yeah, it's not just for TV. You know, there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Do you have thoughts on the jury? Were you watching the jury? Do you have you gotten your own sort of based on the jury? Well, hold on, because if you're down, let's do a part two. I'm going to do a part two. He's right here. I'm going to hit the stop, and I'm going to record again. Let's get James's thoughts on the jury next. Before we do, let's plug your channel, or I guess, is Twitter the best place to get your breakdowns?
Yeah, James from Court. I'll be making a YouTube channel where I'm just going to go through everything I saw in all my notes and break it down. But just for now, Twitter and Instagram. So.
Love it. I love that you made the montage. It's an awesome montage. I was so excited.
I love who made that. That was so cool
it was
when they
so
did that
good.
entire thing.
Wish I had the full one here, but it's an amazing thing. But yeah, there he is. He is legit. He was there. There you are, DUR lawyer. You were there in the court. I think I do recognize you in the back. Did you make it in the reaction meme? You were the guy. Yeah. That is you. Yeah, I was like, I thought I recognized you. You're like,
yeah.
We'll talk about that and the jury reaction in part two, because I like to bang some stuff over the weekend. So thanks for being here. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe, hit the button for all alerts, smash the like button, leave a comment down below, and make sure to give follow to James from Court on Twitter. Also, do me a favor, follow me on Twitter as well at Andy Signore. We'll be back with part two. Stay tuned.